All of us, except flat earth people, know what the world looks like. A satellite image pretty much shows what the world looks like today. You know the basic stuff. Here you have the Sahara Desert, there you have the Amazon, here you have the Arctic, etc, etc. But at night, all of this looks very different. Let's take the United States as an example. You see the basic stuff. It's greener on the east coast and the west coast is a bit drier. But what if I flick the lights off and make it night? Now you can clearly see where people live and where people don't. But something is odd. It doesn't go like a flow, but it just looks like as if it's cut in a very straight line from San Antonio to Winnipeg, Canada. Actually, there are 70 million people who live here, and as a comparison, in this tiny circle there are more than 24 million people. And this oddly shaped separation of where people live doesn't only occur in the United States, but also in many other countries in the planet, such as Canada, where it looks even much weirder. Almost everyone lives south of this line in a very small area of Canada. Well, for Canada this reason is very simple and very obvious, cause over here it's usually too cold to live, so they built all the cities down here. But what's the strange reason for the United States though? Well, it probably isn't as strange as you think it is. When most Americans think of this place, they usually forget about the Rocky Mountains. The eastern part of the United States is much flatter, has more rainfall, has more fresh water and more coastline. If you think logically, this basically means it can provide stuff much better and easier for humans compared to over here, where it's more mountainous, drier and warmer. The exact same reason is also in China, where the western side is very dry and mountainous, while the east side is rainy and flat. And as a result, 1.3 billion live here, but only 90 million live over here. When most people think about China, an image that comes in their mind are huge overcrowded cities. But when you look at China, this is actually not the case. Yes, the cities on the east are overcrowded and gigantic, but on the west side, you can drive for days and days without seeing any human but just mountains and a desert. A country where this is exactly the opposite is the Netherlands. Compared to many countries, the way the cities in the Netherlands are designed is pretty weird. The Netherlands doesn't have any city with more than 1 million people. Amsterdam, which is home to about 800,000 people, is the most populated city here. This country is made up out of many tiny cities that are very close to each other. For example, the two largest cities in the United States, Los Angeles and New York, are 2,790 miles apart from each other, or 41 hours of driving. In the Netherlands, the distance between the largest city and the second largest city is only 25 miles long, or just 40 minutes of driving. The Netherlands has so many small cities so close to each other, it looks like as if the whole country is one single giant city with 70 million people, with each small city having a tiny grassland in between each other. Another interesting one is Australia, where everyone lives on the coastline and is one tiny city in the exact middle of the country, named Alice Springs. The reason why everyone lives on the coast in Australia is because the inlands are too unbearably hot and dry. The Australian cities are so spread out that you can drive for hours in Australia without seeing any form of life. Basically, the opposite of the Netherlands, where you will see a human no matter where you go. Although the Netherlands is so densely populated, they are doing very well with keeping the green spots in between the cities. Let's look at the least densely populated country on Earth. Most people even forget that this country exists. I'm talking about Mongolia. This country has a population of only 1 million people. As a comparison, Singapore fits 2,175 times in Mongolia and has a population of 5.6 million, nearly 6 times more than Mongolia. The winters in Mongolia are extremely cold, with temperatures as low as minus 55 degrees Celsius or minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, and it's very dry too. Who would want to live in a cold desert with no access to the sea as well? Well, that explains Mongolia's population. This next one is even more interesting. Let's take a look at Korea, now divided in half, and we got North and South Korea. Now let's make it night. Well guys, one picture is already enough to explain why communism does not work. On the other hand, communism does seem better for nature though. These two countries have the same climate and landscape, Yet North Korea looks completely dead because the government doesn't have enough money to make modern cities. The last thing I want to show you is the bananas of Europe. WorldTalks, what the hell is that? It's this.
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
These 6 bananas show different areas of the most populated areas in Europe. In the blue banana, the most popular one, we got Manchester, London, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Antwerp, Brussels, Luxembourg City, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Munich, Zurich and Milan. In the pink banana, we got Hamburg, Copenhagen and Malmö. In the red banana, we got Tallinn, Helsinki and St. Petersburg. In the golden banana, we got, actually the golden banana should just be banana. Geneva, Monaco, Marseille, Nice, Barcelona and Valencia. In the green banana, we got Gdansk, Krakow, Brno. Jeez, what's up with these Slavic names? Bratislava, Vienna and Ljubljana. And nobody really cares about this one. That was WorldTalks for today. See you next week.